Coach Oach and Christian just said kind of after the game, you talked about how everything you guys want to accomplish is still in front of you. Was that kind of the message after the game for you?
Well, I think the message is why did we get our butts beat like we did? And I think that there's a lot of things you can say we didn't do. There's more things you can say they did. They were great. I mean, they were terrific tonight. I don't know if they had a weakness in their game tonight. Transition, first shot defense, rebounding, shared the ball, took care of it, shot it well, got to the free throw line. I mean, they did a lot of good things that we didn't do at all. But you know, I don't think our guys. I thought they tried. I don't think we competed very well. And there's a difference between try hard and compete. And but we certainly, you know, I thought after the game got away from us, you know, we rolled the dice and tried to play triangle and two. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't anticipate Keon going for 27. He was great. Xavier handled the ball, got it exactly where it needed to go. When we did get stops, we couldn't rebound the ball. But you know, we've been living on the razor's edge, you know, the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to say it caught up to us tonight, but a much better team tonight, you know, put it on us pretty good.
Coach, back here, is this a game we shouldn't take too much in? It's early in the, I mean, it's relatively early in the year. It's the middle of the conference. It's not a conference game, but it's two blue bloods. There's going to be headlines, but maybe we should take a step back.
Well, if you think that this game's going to impact us, our success in having a good year, or their success in having a good year, the only way it will is from momentum. They're going to have more momentum. They're going to be more of an uptick, and we could potentially be on a downtick, so to speak, which could lead to maybe not performing well in games that are more important than this game. I said this all along, and I actually mean it. You know, we've been involved in this SEC challenge for a while. It seems like every year we're playing, you know, arguably one of the best two teams in the SEC, and we certainly did that tonight. But that's a team that we played tonight that could win it all. You know, they played Auburn at Auburn, and those of you that followed Kentucky the other day, they were better than Auburn for a vast majority of the game. The score just didn't really indicate it. Yeah, this game will not have any impact on the success of our season, but it could have impact on the immediate future if we don't correct some things real soon.
Ochai talked about just struggling to get going. What did you see them do to him, and why he had a hard time?
That's not fair to Oach. I don't look at it like that. You know, it's like a putter that you know, a guy has 27 putts around for 6 rounds, and he has 33 one day, and you say, "Oh God, what's wrong with him?" No, what was wrong with him? The difference was he was so good for so long, and then the law of averages kind of just prevails. I don't think that had much to do with anything. The way that you determine if you play well or not is when the ball doesn't go in the hole. And our team collectively, you know, it'd be nice to get Oach going, but guys, they were scoring every possession. You know, him not scoring or him going 1 for 6 and a half, that didn't have anything to do with them scoring every possession. And that's when you really got to bow your neck, and you got to be tougher and compete a little harder and those sorts of things, and we didn't do it. I think they did a good job on Oach. Don't get me wrong. They faced guarding, they didn't help. They did a good job on him, but when somebody else does that, you're playing 4-on-4 behind that too. And so we had I would be more concerned about other players not being able to take advantage of some situations, or us not putting them in situations, take advantage of situations.
Coach, why do you think it took the offense so long to get rolling tonight?
It never got rolling. I agree with you. It took us two plus hours, and it's still not rolling. So, but a lot of that is, you know, we never got to the free throw line. You know, free throws were very lopsided, but that's not because they were bad calls. That's because they were the most aggressive team. The most aggressive team always shoots the most free throws. So, I think that, you know, it wasn't the offense. I mean, I got to watch the tape. Offense may not have been good, but our offense ain't going to look good all the time. I mean, we gave up 51 points at home at halftime. There's been numerous games we've scored 31 points in a half. and been okay. It's when you don't play well, you have to make the other team play poorly, and we didn't do that. Also in the first half, how many shots did we miss inside of 3 feet? I mean, good gracious. They challenged and all that stuff, but this is what I told our guys this. I mean, they're really, really, really good defensively. Cal's teams are always good defensively. But I said, you know what? They don't really have shot blockers. They blocked 0 shots, and still yet they made us miss every shot inside 4 feet. It was like our mind was like, we anticipated something that didn't really happen. And hopefully we'll handle situations like that better in the future.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Hey, Bill, you've mentioned, I think at least a couple times in the last week, that after this it doesn't get any easier with the teams you have lined up. What do these next couple days look like for you all as you try to not lose too much momentum with this loss and keep going?
Well, we're going to forget about this one. Now, we may show a little bit of tape or something, but I'm not going to dwell on this in a way that to make it out bigger than what it is. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not. In the big scheme of things now, but from a publicity standpoint, a news cycle standpoint, yeah, it's going to read that way. But we've been through all that before, so we got to focus on. I told our guys, I'd much rather beat Iowa State than beat Kentucky. Now, granted, we didn't have an opportunity to beat Kentucky. That was a one-sided affair tonight. But that's if this can somehow make us more hungry or more competitive for that game, that's you never want a loss to go to the point where it didn't teach you a lesson or cause something positive to come from it. And so there's still that opportunity for that to happen.
Bill, in the first half when you were in man-to-man defense, what did you kind of see from your guys from a communication awareness standpoint? What were you seeing tonight?
Well, I thought that we weren't very good defensively. We guarded totally different than we have all year long because they played 2 bigs. And I didn't want to switch our little guards onto their bigger players, so we guarded differently. I was more disappointed in how we competed for balls. If we competed for balls, our defense wouldn't have been that bad. And I'm not sure it was awful, more so than if you'd have told me Oscar and Keon were going to combine to make 7 shots from 15 feet, I would have said, you know what, we'll live. I mean, take 7 shots from 15, we'll live with that. And they just made us, they beat us the way that we actually thought we may have a chance to have some success. But the biggest thing was on the glass. I thought, I didn't think we rebounded the ball at all. And that's hard to do when we don't have a dominant rebounder. We need to really group rebound and we gang rebound, and that didn't happen.
Can you speak to how the second chance point battle went? You guys lost 17-6 on that one.
That's what I've been talking about the whole time. Yeah, they rebounded the ball and we didn't. I don't know how many times we had the ball in our hands and they come away with points when the ball's in our hands.
Hey, Bill, big picture. You talked yesterday about being excited because your team saw a ceiling to go. I guess, what do you think you need to see from your team to hit the ceiling that you think is?
Well, we're a
there?
long ways from our ceiling. I think guys, this isn't being negative. They had real athletes on the court. Their guys got to a certain level, and our guys couldn't quite to get to that level from an athletic standpoint. We don't have anybody on our team that could do what Keon did on that lob that Severe gave him in the first half. Okay, we got one guy that can go upstairs as good as anybody, but after that, we don't have guys like that. And the thing about it is, you have to do things to make sure it doesn't become that type of game. And you can do that, but we didn't do a good job of that. Like, one way to do that would be always keep a body on somebody, hitting somebody, not putting them in a position where they have free run, free jump, that kind of stuff. I don't know how many times they got rebounds because we didn't touch them on their way to getting the rebound. And when you make it a jumping contest with those dudes, we're not, with those 4s and 5s. I don't want to say all of them because they're not big at 1, 2, and 3, but they're really athletic at 4 and 5. They're athletic at 1 through 3, but not from a rebounding standpoint. So we didn't do the things we have to do to compete on the glass. And the other thing, Oscar is different, and we've known this all along. He doesn't get 14 rebounds a game or 15 rebounds a game. He really gets about 25 because he keeps balls alive on the ones he doesn't get to let his teammates clean up. He's a much better rebounder than what his stats show. And his stats show he's the best rebounder, hands down, in the country.
What are some areas defensively you'd like to see this team improve moving forward? Is just one-on-one guarding, or?
I'll just make it real easy. A plethora. Okay, so there's many things that we can do to get better defensively. Okay, we can start by guarding our man. We can start with that, but that wasn't it as much. That was pay attention to scouting report. Don't let Xavier get to the left hand in the slot drive. There's a lot of things you can do. We said we're not trapping the post. We go trap, and then we see a trap's coming. We got a guy say I'm guarding 31. He's a great shooter, so we let Oscar have an and one and foul him like this is really going to bother him. That's pretty ridiculous and pretty soft. We got to improve in those type of things.
You've coached against Cal plenty of times. All of Kentucky's double-figure scorers were upperclassmen. How different is that from a Calipari team?
Well, it's what Ty didn't have 10, so I don't know. Ty only had 2, I guess. They're all double-figure score, but the best player in the first half, no question, was one of the guys that didn't have a double-figure scoring, and he's a fourth-year junior. So, it makes a big difference. The portal is going to be different for schools because when you don't have the portal and kids have to set out, one and dones now are going to be replaced with one and dones. Now with the portal, whatever you have as a team, you can go you can go pick up somebody that doesn't put so much pressure on those so-called one and dones. And he's had so many talented guys and so many one-year guys. But a 21-year-old competing against an 18-year-old, if talent is comparable, experience will prevail. Talent isn't always comparable, but in this case now, the talent is comparable. I mean, they would have never had Oscar in the past, and maybe Xavier, because kids didn't want to set out. And when you recruit to a school like Kentucky, Duke, or whatever, and you do dip into the portal, automatically you're going to be one of 2 or 3 that those kids would consider going to, especially if they saw immediate possibilities. And in this particular situation, they have. I mean, you got what is it? 3 kids out there in the portal that are all experienced, and then you have Keon that's experienced too. That's different than what he's had.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you.